Hi, Bill Mobley for the Brain Channel and for On Our Mind. An important part of what our brain does is to make it possible for us not only to know ourselves, but to know others, to interact with others, the social brain, if you will. And the social brain brings with it a knowledge of other people's needs, their pluses, their minuses, their strengths, their weaknesses, their vulnerabilities. I'm with Billy Moore today. Billy is the lead person, really the inheritor of a legacy that focuses on the well-being of kids that live in the inner city. Billy is the head of the Anybody Can Club, the ABC Club here in Sherman Heights. And I wanted Billy to come with me and talk to the audience about his life, what he found growing up, and what he's doing with ABC to change the lives of young people in San Diego. Billy, welcome. Glad you're here.
Thank you.
Tell us about Billy and your life and what you've done.
ABC was something that was started by my dad. And as a kid, I didn't always live with my dad. So when I did come to live with him, actually it happened before. He introduced me to something, and I had another brother, Hardy, and D'Angelo, two other brothers, and three Anthony, that he took us in the backyard, and he said, the United States is headed for a gang and a drug epidemic.
And this was what year, Billy?
About mid-60s.
Yeah.
But prior to that, he had met with President Eisenhower, and which I didn't learn that until later on, that he had met with the President of the United States and told them, said, look, this country is headed for a gang and a drug epidemic. And he said, if we would go into prevention, let's stop it before it starts. Catching our kids at 6 and 7 years old. Mm-hmm. But they think that was just a little bit ahead of its time. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times a dreamer, a visionary, I think we run into a lot of things like that.
Your dad was a dreamer, but he was also a fantastic boxer. Talk about your dad just very briefly, Billy.
He was running down an alley, and he heard voices, and he stopped and he looked inside, and he saw these guys fighting bare knuckles. Mm-hmm. And he said, I think he was 10, 11 years old or something. He said, that's what I want to be. So he went on.
And this is Archie Moore we're talking about.
Archie Moore that we're talking about. He went on, he started boxing, and as he started climbing the ladder of success, it got to a point to where if a white guy didn't want to fight you, he didn't have to fight you. Mm. And so the experts say that Archie Moore, he held the title for 10 years. The experts, the ring experts say that he should have been the longest title holder ever. They said he should have held the title for 20 years.
And this was the heavyweight title.
This is a light heavyweight championship. Uh-huh. Now, so what happened? He couldn't get a fight here in the U.S. They kept ducking him. They kept ducking him. They kept ducking him. So he went to Argentina. Are you familiar with Juan Perón and Eva Perón?
I am.
Okay, Juan Perón embraced him. And actually he lived in the palace. And he stayed there for a while and fought and fought and fought. And finally he decided it was time to go back to the U.S. By then, Joey Maxim was the champion of the world. And they had Doc Kearns, who was his manager. And at the same time, he was the manager of Joey Maxim also. Everybody thinks that Don King started that. No, Doc Kearns did, having the challenger fight the champion and have a contract signed by both of them. So they signed the contract, and so he told Juan Perón, said, I'm going back to the U.S. now. And Juan Perón said, Archie, if you stay here, I'll give you all the land that you can see. So, but my dad was a patriot. He loved the United States of America. So he came on back and he won the title. And he won the title at an age when fighters are retired. They're retired at the age that he won the title. But they thought he was too old. They said, he's old now, we can risk him. And that's what happened. But he tricked them. And I said, how did you do that? He said, I just made up my mind. I was going to outlast everybody. And that's what he did.
He sure did.
And so with that, we tell the kids, they're inheriting something here that's in ABC. It's called A, B, and C. And then in the A goes, the bottom part is the balance or the foundation of life. One side, now we're using boxing analogy now. One side is the correct delivery and recoil. Part of the other side is the step in, the jab, and the drag. The remaining portion is a 100-fold mystery. And that's what we tell to the kids. You are inheriting a mystery here. And the best way I can explain it, it comes from above. The things that goes on with ABC. And they'd say, well, Coach, what's this, what's that? The remaining portion is a 100-fold mystery. And that's what the kids are enveloping on and stepping out on is a mystery. It's a mystery.
But it's no mystery, Billy, that you've been so effective in helping these young people stay out of harm's way.
Well, I'm a believer in God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. And anybody that steps toward ABC, they may think that they're doing it on their own, but God has his hand on them. He's touching them.
It's a great story. Billy, let's talk now about what ABC does and the work that it accomplishes with these little kids, these fine little people in San Diego. What does ABC do, and what do you see?
ABC teaches our youngsters how to step off in life with their best foot forward, without cowardice, but with courage and dignity. When they come into ABC, as you know, boxing is the backdrop. Boxing is the thing that attracts the kids. But when we get them inside of the gym, there's a whole new world that opens up to them. A whole new world.
When I was about 8 or 9 years old, my mom brought me down to a boxing gym. And it was an old gym right in downtown San Diego. And I used to go there on a daily basis, just really being around some guys that knew a thing or two about boxing, but more importantly, they knew about life skills. And I was able to become associated with excellent mentors like Instructor Moore and his father, who really gave me the basic foundation, reminded me of the simple things that I learned at home, but sometimes it's easy for a kid to forget. And those simple do's and don'ts helped me to progress along, helped me to get off to a great start in high school. I went from being a shy kid to a valedictorian as well as an ASP president. And then I was able to launch out 3,000 miles away from home to a college called Morehouse College and study in the shadows of men like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and others who have done so much for this country. And today I'm delighted to be back where it all began, helping out with the next generation of students that are going forward. We've got a full-fledged learning center and library. We also do a summer program where these students can come in and do hands-on learning with things such as chess, art workshops, physical fitness. I think Instructor Moore's heart is just pure gold. He's someone that really has a passion and a love for what he's been able to do and what he's been given to do. And that's to work with young people such as myself and countless others that have been blessed to be around him and to be able to learn from what he's been able to instill through the ABC program and just through his experiences in life.
ABC touches hearts. And there's something that goes, all of the flowers of all of the tomorrows are in the seeds of today. And that's our kids.
Billy, we thank you for who you are, and we thank you for ABC. Thanks so
Thanks,
much
Doc.
for being here.
Thank you very much.
Bill Mobley for the Brain Channel and On Our Mind.